Hello and welcome to Across the Gridiron, and it's been a while, and yeah, it's been a few couple of weeks, but the NFL season is beginning. I am so excited about the NFL season, so excited about the games. First preseason game has come, and some very interesting storylines, to look upon, and I think this is going to be another, great NFL season. And, for us that are in the UK, we are very excited to get back to sleepless nights, the late night watching of NFL games. Whew. Yeah, I don't know if my family are quite ready for all of that, but yeah, let's talk about the season, right? Let's talk about the season that's gonna happen. It's been about all the different teams, and when I look at the NFL right now, I look at this is one of the things that I love about the NFL, because very rarely do teams carry on their form from one season to the other unless you're the Chiefs, right? I think the Chiefs are the only team that are right up there, that it doesn't really matter how they ended last season. You just know that you would have to contend with the Chiefs if you need to get to the Super Bowl. And that's, very unlucky for quarterbacks that are on that side of the divide. So when I look at the AFC and the teams to watch, obviously the Chiefs, you got to put them right up there. You have to contend with the Chiefs. There's no way about it, right? If you want to get to the Super Bowl, you've got to go through Patrick Mahomes. So that's it. It's just done. That's it. And then Joe Burrow. Listen, he's beaten Patrick Mahomes a couple of times. I think it's twice he's beaten Patrick Mahomes, and he didn't really have a good season last season. I think he was not very healthy. He was injured for quite a bit. But everyone keeps talking about Joe Burrow. Keeps saying, oh, he's the second best quarterback in the AFC, in the league, actually. There are a few people that throw Josh Allen into that as well. But I don't know. The NFL can be a lot of hype, right? And for me, I want to see Joe Burrow this season. I think that the team is going to be one to watch. And I'm really, really curious, because everyone has hyped lots of players. I remember people used to talk about Carson Wentz, and they were like, oh, he's the best thing. And I don't even know if he's still in the league. So, I'm not saying that Joe Burrow is not good. I'm not saying that, but he's had one outstanding season where he's got to the Super Bowl, and that was his first real season in the NFL. And since then, there's always been one excuse or the other. So I think he's going to be one to watch. You got to think about the Bills in AFC. How is Josh Allen going to fare without Stephon Diggs? I think that you could argue that Stephon Diggs came into the Bills and Josh Allen went like this. And is he going to be the same quarterback without Stephon Diggs, the wide receiver? I don't know, but I'm very curious to find out, because I remember that game against the Dallas Cowboys. They literally took the ball out of Josh Allen's hands, and it was just running, and they knew the Cowboys couldn't deal with that. So we'll see whether Josh Allen is going to be this all mercurial quarterback. I'm really, really curious about that. Then, of course, you've got to talk about the New York Jets, right? Aaron Rodgers is building, had 4 minutes or 44 snaps last season, got injured. So you really couldn't see what the Jets would look like. But Aaron wasn't so good in his last season against Green Bay Packers. But I kind of look at that as, like when you're at work and you're kind of looking for that next thing, and then you get that offer from a new company, and you've got a 3 months notice. And for that 3 months, you just kind of like, I need to be out of here. I can't really be starting new stuff because I'm not going to be here, And people start to look at you too as well, because they're thinking, well, he's in the meeting, but, can I really engage with him because he's not going to be here in 3 months' time? And maybe that was what's happening for Aaron Rodgers. He's been talking about wanting to retire and wanting to retire. I don't think his mind was really there for Green Bay Packers. That's what I think. So I think he'll be a formidable force in the AFC. So that's AFC. Let's talk about the NFC. I got some notes here. obviously NFC, you've got to start with the 49ers, right? Everyone talks about how loaded they are. And let's just be honest, Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the league. He's just the best running back in the league. And they've got a great defense, but yeah, it's going to be interesting because I don't know if they have all their weapons coming back. I mean, Deebo Samuel is there, but Brandon Ayuk, we don't know. He might be in the Steelers any moment from now. So, Brock Purdy, I don't know. He's been good, but I mean, the coach probably is the deciding factor, right? I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about the 49ers? Do you think that they're as good as everyone, listen, the record shows it. Have gone to the Super Bowl, more times than anybody else in the last 3 or 4 years. They've never won, but they keep getting there. You always feel like maybe that was the last time, and then they're now getting there again. So, hey, 49ers, you've got to reckon with them. And the Eagles, listen, I'm a Cowboys fan, and you know that already. But I'm not going to talk about the Cowboys at all because I don't believe that they're in contention. And even just by talking about it, I'm talking about the Cowboys. But let's talk about the Eagles. Listen, they had the almighty drop from the sky last season. I mean, to go, I think 1-6 in the last 7 games, that was ridiculous. They were 10-0. And they went like that. I always suspect Jalen Hurts. Listen, I don't know if he's this amazing quarterback. I am very suspicious about quarterbacks in the Eagles because they load up the team every single year, and they make it so easy for the quarterbacks. Honestly, I don't think there is any other franchise that makes it so easy for the quarterback. They've taken Saquon Barkley from New York Giants. You've got AJ Brown there, because Dallas Goedert there. They've got wide receivers, they've got running backs, they've got a good defense. Well, they were not that good last season, but you still have the makings of a good defense there. So, I think they're one to watch out. I'm worried as a Cowboy fan about the Eagles. I am worried, I have to say. So, the Eagles is there. The other team that I just think that in the NFC is going to give people a lot of problems is the Lions. I think that they might be the new 49ers. I honestly think so. They've got Jared Goff is not a bad quarterback. I think he's gone to the Super Bowl before with the Rams. I know they kicked him out the next season. But, hey, if you can get there, sometimes, like, they always say something about, do you know how to do something? And it gets easier when you've done it before. And at least you know how to get there. You may have not done it in the most perfect way and stuff like that, but you know how to get there. You're better off than someone who's never been there before and is constantly looking for directions and stuff like that. Jared Goff knows how to get to the Super Bowl. Let's be clear. He knows how to get. Doesn't need a manual. He knows how to get there. So, I think they're probably 1 or 2 players away from doing that. And hey, let's see. That NFC North, with the Bears, is gonna be really, really interesting. I mean, honorable mention for the Bears. I'm gonna talk about them, but when I talk about preseason and stuff, but the Bears are gonna be a challenge. That could be the strongest team or the division in the NFC, because you've got the Bears, you've got the Packers, you've got the Lions. Yeah, I don't know how to call that. I really don't. Yeah, let's not forget the Vikings. Ooh. Okay, well, let's see. I think Lions are gonna be team to contend with. Now, preseason has been going on. Have you been loving it? I certainly have. I'm a Cowboy fan, but I love football. So I always watch all the different other teams. Look at, because I play fantasy as well. And, I won my fantasy. Well, not last year, but I am a champion of fantasy. So I like to think that I want to scout other teams and, players. And, oh my goodness, there's a spider. Hold on a second. Just going to get the spider. Right. Okay, right. Okay, so yes, so I like to watch other teams because I want to know who I'm going to select for my fantasy team. Which reminds me, I need to check because the draft might be soon. So anyway, rookie players to watch. You've got to talk about Caleb Williams. Now, like I say, the NFL is very overhyped. You know, once something comes, everyone is on it. Everyone is on Caleb Williams right now. He had a good preseason game against the Bills, but it's preseason. And listen, sometimes you look at a player and you're like, I might draft him, right? I might get him as one of my quarterbacks, but probably not in the first round. But if he's still around when I'm selecting quarterbacks, I might get Caleb Williams because he does look like he can throw. And if he can throw and he's got some wide receivers around him, and I think he has, then the Bears could be a different team this season. They could be. I mean, I don't think they're going to be like winning the Super Bowl or anything, but I think they'll be respectable and they might shock a few people. So, other one, wide receiver, Jordan Whittington, plays for the Rams. I watched him up close and personal against the Dallas Cowboys last night. And I think he got like 6 catches for 74 yards or something like that. But he was making big plays. I remember as a play that he did, I think it was 31 yards. And I'm thinking, yeah, he's got a chance of making the team. And they've got some good wide receivers in the Rams. You've got Puka Nacua, you've got Cooper Kupp, and you've got this guy. So Sean McVay is an offensive coach. He likes to do all this crazy stuff. Nobody does motions like them. Every time you're like, yep, that's a motion. They're doing a motion. It's a bit like breakdancing, you know, like when you're in the club and the song comes out and then you're trying not to dance, but you can't help it, right? You just have to like shake your body a little bit. That's like the Rams, right? They can't resist motion. They just like to motion. So, but yeah, they've got a good wide receiver there. I think he flashed, definitely flashed. I think the other player, Will Levis for Tennessee Titans. He looked decent. I mean, I know he's not going to be a starter or anything like that, but, you know, he was pretty good, standout player. And there was this guy from the Broncos. I think it's Jaleel something. Yeah, I mean, I mean, these are all offensive players, right? And to be fair, they always pop. So maybe the second preseason, I'm going to look out for more defensive players, and I'll tell you about who are the people that I think, you know, are standout players for me. So, hey, listen, it's going to be an exciting season ahead. You know, who are your standout players for the preseason game? You know, who do you think is going to get to the Super Bowl other than the Chiefs? How do you think your team is going to perform this season, right? I don't want to talk about the Cowboys, but let me know in your comments who you support and who do you think is going to go far in the season. Well, it was Across the Gridiron, live from the United Kingdom. I'll speak to you also.